Ladies and gentlemen, this just in, breaking news. Fukushima radiation alert. Concern that the nuclear chain reaction could occur at the plant at any moment. The reactors are still melting down and spewing radioactivity. Now, the fuel has burnt through the containment. Experts say it's unprecedented, and it could have been 12 Chernobyls, and it still possibly could be. Now, you can go to the article on enenews.com. But this excerpt is taken from the TRT World Transcript, government-funded public broadcaster of Turkey. Now, with that said, it doesn't matter. We don't have anything to worry about. Do you guys know why we don't have anything to worry about? Because look at these guys. These are Fukushima nuclear plant workers, and they've ditched their protective gear. They say everything's going to be okay. We don't got to worry about it. Yeah, I mean, all this radiation and these crazy levels that are being picked up, and I'm going to share some radiation levels with you in Fukushima right now from several different power plants, and I'm going to share with you what the radiation levels are right now. 0.11 microsieverts per hour. That's what my watch is picking up. But you know what? I'm listening to some really cool electronic music right now, and it's created this energy force field of protective radioactivity. You know, so like any radiation that comes around here, it just transfers that and turns it into superpowers. And pretty soon laser beams are going to be coming out of my eyeballs if people make me mad. So I'm going to have to wear my sunglasses. But I'm digressing. It's okay. Let me read this to you. This is according to Asian Power, AsianPower.com. Fukushima nuclear plant workers have ditched the protective gear. The radiation levels have dropped in most areas, and the Japan Times reported that 6 years have passed since the world's worst nuclear disaster since Chernobyl. And workers are now walking around without protective gear. Efforts to remove radioactive debris and to cover tainted soil with materials like mortar have helped decrease the radiation at the plant, allowing workers to wear regular uniforms at about 95% of the site. Now, tainted water has been moved to more secure welded tanks, replacing weaker ones made of steel sheets and bolts, reducing leaks. Oh, man, I feel so much better now, don't you guys? Especially when you see the drone footage of those plastic bags that look like hefty bags, essentially, that are filled up with radiation, radioactive soil, just sitting there, thousands of them right by the coast, waiting for another tsunami to just wash it off into the water so that way they don't have to worry about it. The ocean does and everybody else. But with that said, it gets even better, ladies and gentlemen. Here's Fukushima. Oh, Fukushima. Okay, let me share these ratings. Now, I've been looking up. You can see right here. This is local time, the Nuclear Emergency Tracking Center. I'll leave the links in the video description box. This is tracking it in N sieverts per hour. And it's currently at 924, which is extremely high compared to the other areas. For example, you'll see it's at 40 when you get north of that area into Sendai. So what does that mean? It's 15 times the amount. Actually, 24 times the amount, approximately. You can see it's 60 N sieverts per hour. I don't know what N stands for. I've been researching it. You can see here the ways to measure the radiation. You've got different sievert levels. I test them with microsieverts per hour, and as I just showed you, we're low at 0.11 microsieverts per hour. Here's some graphical measurements of absorbed dosages versus equivalent dosages. And the Olympics. Yes, that's right. The Olympics are going to be in 2020. The Fukushima is going to host the Baseball Olympics. No joke. And you can read about this on CNN.com, Telegraph.com, BBC.com, USAtoday.com. And guess what? They're going to show the world how well they've cleaned up the area out there before the games. And I certainly hope that they do, because it is extremely unfortunate about what happened in Fukushima. And my personal beliefs, there's a lot more to the Fukushima disaster than what we've been told in the public, and there's a lot more involved than just a tsunami that caused that specific disaster. And there could be more at play right now. But once again, you guys, it doesn't matter, because Fukushima nuclear plant workers have ditched the protective gear. They're just fine. They got nothing to worry about. They're walking around singing Kumbaya, protected from all the plutonium, uranium, and other nuclear isotopes that have been blasted out into the skies. And this transcript from the TRT World, the TRT World transcript, essentially the government-funded public broadcaster of Turkey that recently came out, where let me read this to you. Let's go back here for a minute. Deep inside Fukushima, there is a molten mess, but exactly how deep are those cores? And that is a burning question. These close-up photographs show that it is burned through some of the containment structure and burrowed deep in the foundation of the reactor. Until those cores can be retrieved, the radiation will keep spewing into groundwater and leaking. No one knows for sure where. Now, Neil Hyatt is a professor of nuclear materials chemistry, and he's back from touring Fukushima, and that's just the storage areas, and he admits the situation will haunt Japan and the rest of the world for generations. And I just added the part, the rest of the world, but he says it will haunt Japan. I say it's going to haunt the entire world, and let's hope we can clean it up. He says it's going to take approximately 40 to 100 years for the Fukushima cleanup, and even then, these isotopes go on for hundreds of millions of years as far as their shelf life goes. But while they plan to get to those cores, Tokyo Electric is struggling with a lethal radioactive dragon. Here's where it gets good. Hyatt says one concern is that there could be a resumption of the nuclear chain reaction. Now, he said that there was an unprecedented accident, the reactor cores, which are melting. Recently, before the disaster, an enormous amount of fuel was put into the reactor. It had a fuel pond, which got very hot, stacked with 20 years worth of fuel rods. And if the pond had boiled away, it would have been 12 Chernobyls, according to Mark Whitby, engineer. Well, we've got to have nuclear power to boil water for air conditioning. I mean, that just makes total logical sense. Nuclear power, extremely lethal radiation, and mass amounts of it into small chambers to boil water for power. That is just genius. I mean, whoever came up with that idea for our, power supply, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Just like the bloated goats that are flying around at hundreds of millions of dollars a piece, $1.5 trillion project, F-35 program. It's just the salesman that came up with that and sold the military and the Air Force and all the other militaries is brilliant. I mean, I'll bet you that person could sell anything to anybody at any time. And the proof is in the pudding right there. Now, if you go to leakproject.com, you'll get access to exclusive content. We have a really cool section where you can update the radiation levels where you're at if you have access to the Geiger counters or any radiation reading devices. It's pretty cool. And your support definitely helps Leak Project. If you become an exclusive member, you'll get access to exclusive content as well. And if you go to youtube.com/clandestine time lord, you'll see that we have almost 700 podcasts uploaded on our YouTube channel. Support our sponsors, getthetea.com. I've been taking this stuff called Colostrom, and it is amazing. I was moonlighting for a few days, helping a friend of mine out, and helping him out doing public speaking. I came back home, went into the garage, and pumped out multiple podcasts, and felt awesome. Still do. Love this stuff. I'm going to go for a bike ride here shortly. The blue skies today are phenomenal. I haven't seen blue skies this deep and rich in I don't know how long. And also, more good news, I managed to borrow a friend's computer of mine. I hooked up this Skyrus camera that I picked up for a few $100 that I hooked up to my telescope. Telescope's still in the backyard, actually. And I was able to get some video footage of the sun. Now, it's not real good. It's kind of shady. But maybe if somebody's into astrophotography, you can help me through this and tweak it a little bit. I also need to clean the lens. But it was just really cool that I finally got a little bit of footage. So he's going to email me that footage, and then I'm going to upload it here later, share it with you. And once we get this thing tweaked, you guys, I'm going to share live footage of the sun, of the planets, of the moon, of just really cool anomalies. And I'll talk like I'm in a golf tournament and people are getting ready to, he's walking up to the putt. He's testing the wind right now. And, oh, what a shot. What a shot. What a shot. Eagle. Hello. Hole in one. Nanu, nanu, nanu. All right, well, maybe not golfing, but I don't know if you guys want to listen to golf anyway, do you? All right, so music's getting pretty good here. We will leave it at that. Question everything and be the change you want to see. And I hope you want to be something good and something great. Well, different power plants. And I'm going to share with you what the radiation levels are right now. 0.11 microsieverts per hour. That's what my watch is picking up. But you know what? I'm listening to some really cool electronic music right now, and it's created this energy force field of protective radioactivity. You know, so like any radiation that comes around here, it just transfers that and turns it into superpowers. And pretty soon laser beams are going to be coming out of my eyeballs if people make me mad, so I'm going to have to wear my sunglasses. But I'm digressing. It's okay. Let me read this to you. This is according to Asian Power. AsianPower.com. Fukushima nuclear plant workers have ditched the protective gear. The radiation levels have dropped, and it still possibly could be. Now, you can go to the article on enenews.com, but this excerpt is taken from the TRT World Transcript, government-funded public broadcaster of Turkey. Now, with that said, it doesn't matter. We don't have anything to worry about. Do you guys know why we don't have anything to worry about? Because look at these guys. These are Fukushima nuclear plant workers, and they've ditched their protective gear. They say everything's going to be okay. We don't got to worry about it. Yeah, I mean, all this radiation and these crazy levels that are being picked up, and I'm going to share some radiation levels with you in Fukushima right now from several. Ladies and gentlemen, this just in, breaking news. Fukushima radiation alert. Concern that the nuclear chain reaction could occur at the plant at any moment. The reactors are still melting down and spewing radioactivity. Now, the fuel is burnt through the containment. Experts say it's unprecedented, and it could have been 12 Chernobyls.